As everybody knows, it's December, which means we're getting close to Christmas. Or maybe Christmas was like 3 weeks ago and my dumbass didn't finish the video in time. And to celebrate, I'm beating Terraria using only Christmas themed weapons such as the ones from Presents, the Frost Moon, and also some snow biome weapons. I was initially planning to avoid using snow biome weapons so the game wasn't too easy, but I realized that I'd have to use the pre-boss weapons from the Presents, which are complete fucking ass, all the way up to Plantera, which is when you unlock the Frost Moon and get some actual decent weapons. So yeah, fuck that. Anyways, can I beat Terraria's master mode like that? Yes, I can, it's not that hard. Upon entering the world, the first thing I did was not chop down trees, instead I got some Christmas drip. And when I did start cutting down trees, a present slime spawned, and since I have no way of defending myself, I just let the guide kill the slime for me. Which took a while, cause the guide is very stupid. And in the present I got a fucking disappointment, which is, you know, fair, cause I'm looking for very rare drops. And that made me realize, I can't just rely on the guide to kill slimes for me until I get the weapons. These things are like 0.6% chance of dropping from presents. It's better for me if I just go to the ice biome and get a weapon there. So I started heading left and found a living tree, which had 3 chests that were all useless, and a gnome that beat me to death. But I went down the living tree again and found a cave. After following a minecart track, I found a gold chest that surprisingly had Hermes boots. It usually takes me a few chests, like 6 or the number that comes after that. After that I kept following the minecart track until I found a nice cave. And shortly after entering the ice biome, I found this randomly positioned chest and got a snowball cannon. I usually never have this much luck in a playthrough. Looks like things are looking up. Well, shit. Anyways, I found another chest and got a blizzard in a bottle? Do I have the dream luck mod or something? What the fuck? After that I got a life crystal and went back to spawn, against my will. So I decided to explore the surface this time. I found a pyramid which had a sandstorm in a bottle, and I also found a small puddle of water on the ground, which means that there's a floating island here. So I towered up with dirt to get on the floating island. And after all I went through, I got a celestial magnet. I'm not even gonna use a recall potion, I'll just kill myself. What I did from here was basically grind for a bunch of stuff I still needed, such as chests, life crystals, flinx fur, and I also made a Christmas themed house that looks like shit. And of course, I suffered a lot to get these things done. But I finally felt an evil presence watching me. So the Eye of Cthulhu spawns, not caring for my NPCs at all. And as you can see, I had no time to get potions or even make an arena. Luckily I had 3 double jumps, so I can just keep juking him while using the snowball cannon to deal damage. And I guess the flinxes are there too, but they're not doing much. But the damage was enough to make him enter his second phase, which makes things way more complicated. Nah, I'm just kidding. I just kept doing the same thing until the Eye of Cthulhu was defeated. And shortly after the goblins invaded, but we all know they always get their cheeks clapped. After that I did a bunch of blood moons to farm for presents and get the Christmas weapons, which are very fucking rare. In the first blood moon I got like 20 presents, and as expected, nothing. So I did a few more blood moons and got 52, still nothing. After a few more painful blood moons, I got 51 more, and guess what? I actually got it this time. Did you think I was gonna say I didn't get it? Fucking weirdo. And not only did I get the Red Rider, I also got this useless shit. But yeah, the grind's over. And what better way to test a new weapon than by shooting a homeless washed up guy who doesn't even seem to have the desire to fight. That's how I see the King Slime. Yeah, there's not much to show about this fight. This dude is even slower than the Eye of Cthulhu, who had his ankles absolutely broken. And after defeating him, I realized that these weapons are fucking terrible. Even the snowball cannon is better. But I'll use them anyways. Up next we have the Brain of Cthulhu, which you usually fight with piercing weapons, and I don't have any. But who cares? It's an easy boss. Oh my god, he's beating my ass, please somebody help. And yeah, as expected, if you don't have a piercing weapon that does a lot of knockback, the Brain of Cthulhu just beats your ass. But I was able to survive and regain my health and eventually got him to his final phase. From here I was pretty much just dashing around and letting my flinxes do all the damage because I just kept missing my shots. Skill issue. And even though I had some close calls and a shitty weapon, the Brain of Cthulhu has been defeated. And after winning the fight I was in a good mood, so I figured I'd make some better houses for my NPCs and I'm gonna kill myself. After building the totally better houses, I went into the caves to try and find the Goblin Tinkerer and also some gravitation potions. The only thing I wanted was a red shiny balloon, but instead I got a Star Fury, a Celestial Magnet, another Celestial Magnet, and a Horseshoe, which is good. But I still killed myself. The next thing I did was go to the Crimson Biome to craft the Summon for Deerclops, which is supposed to be fought after Skeletron, but I don't give a shit. I usually just skip this boss, so forgive me for my skill issue. Shortly after starting the fight, I was already making a huge mistake, which is being far from the boss, and that makes her use long range attacks that are much harder to dodge. Because of that, I was at 30 HP and not even a minute in the fight. But I quickly regained my health, and this time I actually tried to stay close to Deerclops so I don't get sniped. So I slowly chipped off her health, very slowly, because my weapons are shit, and Deerclops was finally defeated. The reason why I did this fight early is because I wanted to get a Pneumatic Horn, but I ended up getting Lucy, which was better than I expected. And in the second fight I got this thing that I'm not gonna use at all. And there wasn't a third fight because I ran out of flinks for her. Alright, so the next boss on the list is gonna be Skeletron. And since my strategy is just gonna be me throwing myself at him while using Lucy to beat his ass, I'll be needing some better armor than whatever this is. So I went to hell to get some Hellstone and made some Molten Armor. And with that done, I can finally start the fight. And just as I said I was gonna do, I started throwing myself at Skeletron, and the damage was way better than I expected. I could literally go for the head without even breaking the hands and the damage would still be good. And when he was just flying around, I could go for the hands and absolutely destroy them. But even though my damage was good, I was also running low on health, so I had to run away and use the Red Rider to finish off the hands. So now I'm pretty much just waiting for his spinning attack so I could finish him off by beating his ass. And just like that, Skeletron was defeated. Now I finally have access to the dungeon so I can get a Cobalt Shield and probably never come back later. Not long after entering it, I found a mechanic, which is gonna be very important for this playthrough, not for the traps. You'll see why. Luckily, it only took me a few chests to get the Cobalt Shield, and I went back home. I also realized that I still didn't have lightning boots, so I went to the jungle to get an Anklet of the Wind, but instead I found a beehive. And you know, it's Christmas, I'm dressed up as Santa, so I'm gonna do the same thing as him. First of all, break into the person's house, otherwise you can leave presents for them, but if you don't see a Christmas tree, that means they don't have enough space for it in their house. You can just open some space using explosives, they're gonna be very thankful for it. The only problem is that the explosives might wake up their children, but there's a very simple solution for that. Grab your axe and murder them, and make sure to make it fast. After that, you can usually just leave the presents and get out of the house, but sometimes the parents wake up and start attacking you for some reason, but there's also a simple solution for that. Kill the parents too. For this fight I used the exact same strategy as the last one, because it requires no brain, very fitting for me, which is throwing myself at the boss and beating them to death, because it always works. But it might be a little more difficult this time because I brought no potion buffs, nor campfires, nor hard lanterns. Yeah, I had time to do the whole Santa bit, but still forgot the most important part of the fight. I'm glad I'm using a strategy that requires no brain, because I don't think I have one. But it's fine, because I was breaking her ankles like crazy and pretty much just waiting for the window where she stays still so I can beat her up with Lucy. And I just kept doing that until the mother of the 20 or so children I murdered was defeated. I'm still not sure why she was attacking me in the first place, but yeah. And after getting the Anklet of the Wind, I went back home and made some lightning boots. And now that I have those, I can go reforge my stuff. And you know, I just beat Skeletron and Queen Bee fairly easily, so I'm in a good mood again. So I figured I'd make some more nice houses for my NPCs. And this time for the Goblin Tinkerer, his wife, and this homeless guy I just found on the streets. Hey buddy, I hope you like the house I made for you and your wife. Okay, you little shit. I don't think you understand what's going on here. I made you and your wife a fucking house, and you're still giving me bad reforges. I'm gonna give you one more chance to make this right. Alright, I see how it is. Alright buddy, let's see if you can make the right choice now. Oh, that's actually good. I want warning though. Maybe I should have told you that, but I don't give a shit, you get a warning anyways. Oh, you wanna give me a warning now? You only have one more chance, make it count. Alright, I'm done. You still wanna give me some reforges or... Well, now that whatever that was is done, there's only one thing I wanna do before fighting the Wall of Flesh, which is getting the golf cart. So I went to the underground desert to find the golfist, and as you can see, he's right there. It usually takes me much longer, so that's pretty cool. All I gotta do now is talk to him. God fucking damn it! After finding him again, I bought the stuff I needed and then he got brutally murdered. But nobody cares, so I went to play some golf, and after getting 10 hole-in-ones and buying the golf cart, I went to hell to finish my hell bridge. But I eventually finished it and summoned the Wall of Flesh. Unfortunately, the only weapon I have that's actually viable for this fight is Lucy, because the other ones are just ass. So my strategy is gonna be the same I used for previous bosses, just throwing myself at the bosses and stabbing them until they're dead. And because the Wall of Flesh hits like a truck, it's way riskier than the other fights. But I have a golf cart, so I'm good. Fuck. After trying again, I actually managed to get the Wall of Flesh to 4000 health before checking the map and realizing that my bridge was running out, so I just died. Fuck me. Now that I know that I'm really underprepared for this fight, I extended my health bridge with a lot of pain included and killed Deerclops like a lot of times to get the pneumatic horn, and then I reforged it. Alright buddy, you know the drill. Give me what I want right now or she gets it. Oh, okay, thanks. But I killed her anyways, go fuck yourself. Anyways, let's just try the fight again. And this time I'm not gonna be throwing myself at the hungry because they can pretty much kill me in 2 hits, and that would be very stupid. Oh, never mind. I guess I'm just that stupid. So after nearly killing myself 20 seconds into the fight, I started running away and killing the hungry using the pneumatic horn, and after they were all dead, I managed to get an insane amount of damage on the wall of flesh using Lucy. After getting low on HP, I backed off a little to use the pneumatic horn, even though it kind of sucks in comparison to Lucy, and also regain my HP while trying to squeeze in as much damage as possible. Holy shit, there was a mistake. But after having some very close calls and regaining my health once again, I go in with Lucy and manage to squeeze in that final bit of damage, and the wall of flesh finally goes down, which puts us in hard mode, which means I'm fucked. The first thing I did was go to the snow biome to get some weapons that are actually decent, and I gotta say it's good to have a weapon that actually is decent for this stage of the game. So let's reforge it. Oh, I'm never getting a good reforge again. After getting some terrible reforges as expected, I went back to the snow biome to kill some ice golems. My skill issue remains, but I eventually killed enough golems so I could get the fuck out of there and never come back, and then I broke some altars to get the hard mode ores. Then I made some frost armor and wings. By the way, I'll only be using frost armor until I beat the game, just to spice things up. Or should I say, cool things up. Alright, I'm sorry. And I also did the Frost Legion, I guess, which kinda sucks ass. And also a hollow farm to get a blast apple, cause I'm too lazy to farm for it normally. After that, I did all of the other early hard mode grinding stuff that I don't think anybody cares about, so let's just spring into action. And when I say spring into action, I mean it, cause I didn't even make an arena. Since the Icicle doesn't have much range, I have to rely on the pneumatic horn whenever she's away. The damage drop is immediately noticeable. I'm doing a massive, earth-shattering 60 DPS. And when I do get close enough to use the Icicle, it's not that much better. And considering how much HP she has, I'm pretty much fucked. But at least I can dodge her attack. I think I just shit my pants. And before I even think about healing, she goes into phase 2. And now I can barely use the Icicle. That's just great. She keeps hitting me here and there, leaving me with low health, but I slowly whittle her down and eventually the Queen Slime was defeated. After that I actually made an arena and I remember that Ice Mimics exist. And they have some weapons that are very mediocre actually. But they're pretty cool for this challenge, so yeah. So after spending an ungodly amount of time looking for these guys, I ended up getting what I wanted and got the fuck out of there. Cause holy shit, looking for mimics is painful. But now that I have everything I needed, I can just start killing bosses. The next boss on our list is the Destroyer. So I went back to my arena and started the fight. Damn. So I started the fight. I start off by hitting his segments that are cramped up together, and the damage is not bad, but kind of lower than I expected. The Destroyer is usually very easy to cheese, but in this case my weapons are not exactly viable. But I can do some decent damage if I use the Frostbrand's blade to hit the Destroyer's body, but I take a lot of damage in the process. So I just use the long range attacks while I regain my health, and I gotta say, the damage is fucking terrible, but I managed to get some good damage here and there, and kill the probes to regain my health. So after repeating this process for a while, the Destroyer eventually goes down. Next up are the twins, and this time my weapons are actually good against them. Not even good, just mediocre actually. But at least it's viable for this fight. So I spawn them in, and the damage is not the best, but it's enough. By using the unicorn mount to dodge, I can easily get through the first phase. But then Spasmatism enters the second phase,
and shortly after I run out of arrows. Why can I not prepare for a fight properly?
And since I don't have mana potions for my ice staff and the icicle doesn't have much range, I am once again forced to use the Frostbrand, with its whopping 90 DPS. But as long as you have a Shield of Cthulhu and know how to count to 6, avoiding Spasmatism's attacks is not too difficult, but eventually he goes down. And for Retinazer, I can easily face tank his lasers and then use the Frostbrand to beat his ass. And in his second phase I can't really get close, so it took me a while, but eventually he goes down and the twins have been defeated. Now for Skeletron Prime, I think all the weapons are usable here, so I just kept switching between them and went straight for the head.
Okay, that sounds weird.
I used the Ice Bow for most of the fight, used the Ice Staff whenever I had mana for the piercing attacks, used the Frostbrand when he was doing the spinning attack, doing the most damage of all, and I didn't really use the Icicle. And I barely took damage in this fight, other than the time where a Wyvern spawned and beat the shit out of me with Skeletron's health. But overall, Skeletron Prime was defeated very easily. Now the jungle grows restless, just like my desire to leave the game.
Cause I don't wanna go there.
But after making a hallowed pickaxe,
no, I'm not saying pickaxe X.
I went to the underground jungle to get some chlorophyte, and die a lot of course, because it's the jungle. But I eventually got enough life fruits to max out my HP and found a Plantera bowl, so I started working on my arena and you know the drill. Explode shit, die, repeat, until the arena's done. I fucking hate the jungle so much. But I eventually finished the arena and started the fight. Before Pantera could even get to the arena, I lost nearly half of my HP to these annoying ass enemies. But we all know Pantera's first phase is really easy, so yeah. And it didn't take very long until she got to her second phase, which is when shit gets serious. So I start getting hit a lot because of those spiky balls she spits out on her first phase, but I'm able to regain my HP by performing some crazy ankle breakers on her. Like, look at it. And as her HP gets low, so does mine. But I'm able to squeeze out that last bit of damage and Pantera has been defeated. And now that Pantera has been defeated, I unlocked something that I was not looking forward to. The Frost Moon. This is the event that's gonna unlock the last few weapons of this playthrough, but the problem is that I have to get to later waves to get some of them. And unlike the Pumpkin Moon, the Frost Moon is just hard as fuck. For no reason at all. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. So with my booty cheeks clenched, I summoned the Frost Moon. And after starting the event, I realized that just like my self-esteem, my damage was very low. So it took me a while, but I eventually got to wave 5 and a never screen spawned. And holy shit is my damage bad. Just look at it. This is sped up. And after I killed him, he didn't even drop anything. Then a Santa spawned and I couldn't kill him in time, so yeah, nothing. Fuck! Nothing again. Fuck! In the third night I actually got a Razor Pine, but my dumbass didn't see it, so I just used the Ice Bowl until the end of the night. And because of that, in the next night I actually got to kill a lot of bosses. Well, shit. And got to wave 11, which is when the Ice Queen starts spawning. But I died a lot throughout the night, so I didn't have enough time to kill her. I hate my life so much. I killed one, she didn't drop anything. Shit! Before the next night, I reforged my accessories to menacing to see if that would make any difference. And yeah, it actually does. But I died so much more that it wasn't even worth it. I only managed to kill one Ice Queen again. But this time she actually dropped one of the weapons, which is also the only good one. After that I did many more Frost Moons to see if I could get the other stuff, but I eventually just gave up. Yeah, I couldn't get the stuff. And now that I have all the stuff from the Frost Moon, I'm pretty much maxed out, so the game is just a boss rush now. The next boss on the list is Golem. I went to the temple to summon the boss. And for no one's surprise, these weapons are shredding Golem because of the AoE damage. So just 40 seconds into the fight, Golem is already on life support. After taking down his fists, I start doing the strategy where you dash left and right and he can't hit you anymore. Not long after that, he enters his final phase and I decide to change my strategy. Instead of dashing left to right, I'll dash right to left and he cannot lay a finger on me. So ladies and gentlemen, that's Golem for you. I probably should have killed him before the Frost Moon, but it's too late now. And Golem has been defeated 6 times just for fun. After that I got all of the traps on the jungle temple, and when I was setting it up on my hollow farm, I saw a prismatic lace wing, and I just asked myself, why the fuck not? So I summoned the Empress of Light, but as a summoner main, I don't see the normal Empress fight as the real one. I just did it normally because I wasn't sure if I was gonna be fighting her in daytime. Spoiler alert, I did. So I'll just show you me defeating her, and we can come back to this later. Now the next boss is Dukefish Run, so I went to the mushroom biome to get some truffle worms, and went to the ocean to summon him. The Razor Pine with the Ichor debuff is not too bad in this fight, but it does get the job done. So after a chill first phase in which I barely get hit, he enters his second phase and hits me for a lot of damage, but things barely change because I go back into my daytime Empress of Light mentality and don't get hit at all until the third phase, where he corners me and hits me again, but I quickly recover and start dodging every attack until Dukefish Run was defeated. I think that means I should just go fight the Empress of Light at daytime. All I need is a broom from the Pumpkin Moon, so back to the grind. And I still don't understand why the Pumpkin Moon is so much easier than the Frost Moon. In just a few minutes I'm in wave 12 and I haven't even died yet. Never mind. And even though I died a lot and was playing with my brain turned off, I still got to wave 15. And yeah, I got the bloom. Now it's time for the fight. You usually use a summoner build to max out your damage and kill her in like 30 seconds, but I have terrible weapons and terrible armor, so my damage is gonna be shit. But this fight isn't too bad. I used to think this fight was hard, but after watching this video, my vision completely changed. All you really gotta do for this fight is just max out your damage and use a flying mount like the witch's broom, and that's usually enough for me to always beat her on my first try. I wish I was like this butterfly, so I could be killed in the most brutal way possible and bring disgrace into the world. The second try was pretty much the same thing, but I stayed away from my base so I could have actual space to dodge. And now the Empress of Light has actually been defeated. Oh, what is this little thing? Get the fuck out of my face. Now the only thing between me and Moonlord is the cultist. In his group chat, I guess. So I killed them all and started the fight. The first thing I did in this fight was to turn off my brain and stand still, because I thought I could face tank his attacks for some reason. But after he took half my health in seconds, I realized that was a terrible idea. So I activated my only 2 brain cells so I could actually dodge the attacks and also hit the right cultist on the rituals. Only messing up once because I got too far away. Luckily the snowman cannon absolutely destroys the dragons. And I just did the same things until the lunatic cultist was defeated. Then I quickly did the pillars without dying one. Don't mind that. And now Impending Doom approaches, which pretty much means I'm fucked. So I went back to my arena and waited for the Moonlord to come. Okay, that sounds really weird, but you get the point. He's here, and our fight is gonna be legendary. Well, shit. Upon starting the next fight, I realized that I had forgotten to heal with the nurse. So I'm starting with a third of my HP missing. But I kept my distance while waiting for the signs that he was gonna use his laser and trying my best to hit the top eye while it's open. And the damage was looking like shit, but I just kept doing the same thing and keeping a safe distance. So it took very long. But I eventually took down one of the hands. But in the process, I got really close to dying and had to recall home. After this really close call, I managed to get away from the Moon Lord and take down his other hand, and getting really low again. I probably shit my pants like 3 times in this moment, but I was able to destroy the Moon Lord's top eye and regain my health. Now the core is exposed and I can use my favorite strategy. Just keep the Moon Lord out of your screen and use homing weapons so he can't hit you. Yeah, it's very anticlimactic, but it works. And after a while of doing that, the Moon Lord has finally been defeated, putting an end to this challenge, which wasn't very hard. But I'm planning on doing a very hard one that was never done before. And I really hope nobody steals my idea before I can do it, because I take way too long to finish my videos. Anyways, this is my first video and I'm not sure if YouTube is gonna push it to anybody, but if it did, thank you so much for watching this video. Took me a while to make because I don't really know what I'm doing, so I would gladly accept constructive criticism. Even if it's bad, just tell me what I can do to improve my editing skills. Subscribe and also send the video to someone who watches Terraria content. And if you wanna help with the algorithm, just comment anything, like literally anything, and it helps, I think so. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you again for watching.